Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today for a video that I've been putting off doing for a little while because it's taken me all morning to sort of figure this out. So I had this idea on my sort of like to film list, and it was inspired by a tag video that I did, I think it was the end of last year, and it was sort of like, if I could only keep 10 eyeshadow palettes, what would it be? So that tag was created by Annette's Makeup Corner, and I, ever since doing that, have thought, okay, eyeshadows aren't really my passion at the moment, but what has consistently forever been a passion of mine is lip products. So I was thinking I would do a similar thing, like if I could only keep 10 lipsticks, what would they be? Originally I was thinking I'm going to do formulas, and I'm like, no, that's too easy, because I'm not kidding you. Some of these lipstick formulas I have like 20 shades of, and I thought that just makes it too easy because that literally encompasses like 200 lipsticks. So I thought, no, I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going to narrow it down to like shades and formulas of lip products. So 10 lip products. If I could only keep 10 right now as I am, which ones would they be and why? And of course, because I am a lipstick junkie, I thought I would do some, I would tell you also the ones that I sort of were narrowing down from. So there's a lot more than 10 in front of me, but I will show you the 10 and then I'll sort of show you the other ones that I was sort of umming and ahhing about. So this is not a tag, but if you did want to do this video, let me know, tag me or do it and let me know, or link it, something, because I'd love to watch it because I am a lipstick junkie. And I'm actually really bummed that I'm not filming any more videos but this today, because the lighting is actually quite good. My last two videos, it's been a bit stormy in Melbourne and it's been like overcast and crap. Today the lighting is perfect, but I only have one video that I'm filming and then I'm going out, so that's a bummer. All right, so I'm gonna start with nudes because I actually did break this down into 5 nudes and then 5 colorful lipsticks, because even though I do wear nudes pretty regularly because they're sort of easy to throw on, my passion lies with colorful lip products. So it was very hard narrowing down like reds that I love. 5 nudes, 5 colors is the split that I made. So the first lipstick I'm going to mention is a lipstick that I've actually gone through a couple of them, and before swatching this today, this was actually a brand new one because I used one up last year. This is MAC Velvet Teddy. It is a classic, and the reason why I love it is because it is sort of my perfect nude. I also really, really love the formula of this. It's a creamy matte. Look, my hand is stained from all this swatching that I was doing when I was trying to narrow these down. This is pretty much a My Lips but better lipstick. It's got a slight brown tone on me. The creamy matte finish is really comfortable but long wearing. It doesn't look chunky, it doesn't fade down weirdly. So MAC Velvet Teddy for me is a staple. I've gone through, like I said, a couple of these, and it's probably, it's not for everyone. I think it's one of those lipsticks that was so hyped up that everyone ended up buying it, and depending on your skin tone, sometimes it looks mauve on you, sometimes it looks pink, sometimes it looks too brown. On me, it looks perfect. So MAC Velvet Teddy is a classic in my opinion. So yeah, because I love this so much, I was like, I'm gonna get my backup out. I'm gonna swatch the brand new one for this video, because it is one that I remember when I was panning my last one because it was getting old. I was just like, I'm so happy to use this every day because it looks flattering with every look. So it's one that I can't beat. I love the formula. I love the color. It's My Lips but better. Next up, I have 2 liquid lipsticks. Now I actually prefer a bullet lipstick to a liquid lipstick, but when you get a liquid lipstick formula that wears beautifully, I love reaching for them because they're sort of the lipsticks that you can put on in the morning and then not worry about throughout the day. So I decided to pick one that was more warm toned and one that was more cool toned so I can wear them throughout the year. So the first one is no surprise. It's one that I've been loving ever since holiday 2018, which is the Too Faced Melted Matte. This is the Hot Buttered Rum lipstick. These are actually my favorite formulas of liquid lipstick. I do have another one in this range, in this top 10, because I love them so much. But this shade, like I said, it's limited edition, which is a real shame. It smells delicious, but it also has this beautiful like similar sort of brown toned nude, but a little bit more orange. So it's a little bit more sandy. It's so flattering. If I want a bold like autumn lip, this is the one I go for. So I will zoom in and show you the swatch comparisons, but they're, you know, different formulas, different looks, but this is just one of those lipsticks I can reach for. I know it's gorgeous. I know it wears really well. It's a mini, which is a sad. I wish I could have it in like a massive tube because I love it so much, but it is a beautiful sort of orangey, sandy, brown toned liquid lipstick, sets down matte and wears beautifully all day. So that one I can't pass up. Then the cool toned one, this was hard because I have quite a few cool toned products that I was like, oh, which one do I choose? But I ultimately decided to go for the Jouer lip cream. So this is the lip cream in the shade Terra. Now, what I love about this, again, it is so comfortable and it wears off really, really nicely. You can see it's got more of a cool tone vibe to it. So it's still the same sort of, I don't like really, really light nudes. I like the more mid-tone nudes because they just suit my complexion better. But you can see this has more sort of purpley gray tones. That one is more orange and that one is more true nude for me. So this one is like a moussey formula. You can apply a really thin layer. It wears down really nicely. It stays on the lips really nicely. You can definitely put a lip gloss over it to make it shiny. So I felt like those nudes, the tone is correct for me. And then you've got different undertones and different finishes for sort of different makeup looks and different seasons. So those are the sort of, yeah, I love them. Then I decided to go something a little bit different and I decided to delve into lip glosses. So I've got 2 lip glosses here. So 1 bullet lipstick, 2 liquid mattes and 2 lip glosses. So one is actually a Project Pan one that I currently have on the go. And this is more of a representation of, like, I love this color and I'd be more than happy to repurchase this color, but it's more of a representation of this range, I guess. So this is a ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip. It's in the shade Moonchild. I really like ColourPop lip glosses. They swapped the doe foot applicator to a brush applicator, which I'm not happy about. I much prefer the doe foot applicator, but this one is just such an easy to throw on lip gloss. It is super shiny, super lightweight, not sticky, gives a nice amount of color, again, sort of in that color sort of vibe where it's not too pink, it's not too peach, sort of like a brownie color, this particular one. There are other shades that ColourPop have that I would probably just as happy to wear, but this was the one that I sort of wear the most, so I thought I'd use this as an example. But, you know, really cheap, really easy to throw on, that looks really nice over other lip products to add a bit of shine. So I just thought, yeah, ultra glossy lip in a sort of brownie nude tone. So yeah, this particular shade, like, I really like this shade, and, you know, if I was stuck using this shade forever, that'd be fine. But it's more of a representation of this sort of tone of nude from their range because they've got heaps of them. So yeah, that's just that example. Then I wanted to mention more of a sheerer lip gloss because that one has a bit of color. It is a thinner formula. It does wear off fairly quickly, but it's so easy to throw on. But one that I just have that's a mini from a holiday pack that I really, really, really love if I want to make a super glossy lip or put it over any color because it's more of a sheer color. This is the Kevyn Aucoin Glass Glow Lip. So it's in the shade Prism Rose. And again, this has a sheen to it. It's got this sort of nude tone to it. But in reality, it's more of just a shimmery, really glass-like finish, and it's so gorgeous. It's a bit thicker than the ColourPop one, so it feels a little bit more sticky on the lips. So I'll try to get a little bit more out so you can see it. I don't know if you can see that it actually is a lot shinier than the ColourPop one, but since it's got barely any base color, you can put it over anything. I really like it over a little bit of a lip liner. I just feel like this gives the lips a really like glamorous effect. It's really, really high shine. It's really, really glossy. It's really, really special. So I can use this over any lipstick. I could use it over any of these. So yeah, technically I didn't need 2 lip glosses in this sort of nude 5, but I wanted to have both because I sort of see them for different purposes. This one is more of a throw on, like I'm just going down to the shops or I'm just, you know, my lips are feeling a bit dry, I'll just chuck on a lip gloss and it's fine. Whereas this one is a little bit more special. It gives a much more sort of interesting look to the lips. It's a lot more plump. It's a lot more sort of, yeah, just statement and really gorgeous. But yeah, I think they offer something slightly different. This is more everyday. This is more special. And I thought I would put them both in there. So those are the 5 nude shades that I'd be more than happy to just keep rotating through if I could only pick 10 lipsticks in my collection. I thought I'd mention the runners up that I was sort of tossing up between. So for the lip glosses, because I wanted something sort of shiny and hydrating, I really like these guys as well. So we've got the Linda Hallberg Pink Opal Fantastic lipsticks. So once again, this is a handbag one, sort of how I use this one. You just throw it on when you want some hydration and some color to your lips. So there's that one. The only reason I didn't go for this is because I think I use a lip gloss a little bit more frequently. So, but otherwise I really love that. And in a similar sort of way, the Jouer, this is the Essential Lip Enhancer Shine Balm. This is in the shade Amaryllis, which is once again sort of your brownie nude, and it offers a same kind of thing. So just a shiny sort of more brown toned effect. Like them all, but again, I think for me, the lip gloss is probably a little bit more versatile because I can throw it on by itself or I can lay it over other things, and you can still do that with these, but I tend to use the lip gloss a little bit more. When it came down to runners up for the cool and the warm shades, I don't actually have a runner up for this one. This one is like a standout. There was no questions about it. I was actually tossing up between the Kaleidos Lip Tonic in the shade Injection, which is sort of like an orangey toned sheer nude. So that was the one that I was sort of looking at as a runner up for this Too Faced one. So it's more of a blotted matte lip. Very, very comfortable, quite sheer. Sort of gives the effect of one of these lip glosses, but a more matte finish. And I really, really love it. But I love the Too Faced one even more. So I couldn't not pick that. The cool tone one for me was probably the hardest one. I ultimately went for the matte because I can wear it matte, or I could put a gloss or something over it to make it a bit shinier. I can blot it down to make it a little bit sheerer. But I was also tossing up between the Lorac. This is called Cat Lady. Shit, I love this lipstick. This has been in my handbag for so long because I love it so much. I'm going to put it down here. So this is like a glossy, once again, sort of cool tone nude. Super, super flattering. My only issue with this is that it, because it is a glossy lip, it sort of fades down pretty quickly, but it is gorgeous and it's so like lush on the lips. And another one that I've been playing with recently that I've been wearing pretty much all week, and the reason why I didn't pick this as well was because it's a new edition, so I haven't played with it as much as these guys. But the Nabla, these are matte lipsticks in, this is the shade Backbeat. This is going to be my favorites this month. I'm just letting you know because it is the most gorgeous, cool toned. It's like gray toned and I just love it. It's so flattering. So that's the color there. You can see it's like a soft matte and it's really gorgeous. So this is similar colored. I think this is a little bit more cool toned, a little bit lighter, but those were the ones that I was sort of tossing up between because I love them all. But ultimately, those are the nudes that I sort of picked that I would keep if I had to narrow it down. All right, onto fun colors, and I'm very predictable with this one. It's Yaz Red from Shiramura. This actually sparked an addiction of these lipsticks for me. I probably have about 20 different like shades in this particular matte formula. So this is the Rouge Unlimited Supreme Matte. So these sort of have like a weird powdery sort of moussey consistency that don't swatch fantastically, but they do look gorgeous on the lips because it gives you that really flat, bright color. Now, I have tried dark ones of these. I've tried sort of more nude shades. The nude ones look quite powdery on the lips. I don't like them, but the brights and the darks are gorgeous. Like I said, I own a shit ton of them, but Yaz Red is definitely probably my favorite of the bunch. So the thing I love about this is not only the finish and that it wears really, really nicely, but the color for me is really, really unique. You can see it's sort of a bright red, but it's got pink tones, it's got orange tones in it. It sort of looks like in some lights it could be a pink, in some lights it can be a coral, in some lights it could be a reddy orange, and it just stands out on the lips so nicely and wears really, really nicely. So that one I wear all the time. Often I'll be wearing it in videos and people are like, what are you wearing? It's always this. So yeah, I really, really adore this one. So I had to pick it. I couldn't not include one of my favorite formulas, which is the Hourglass Confession lipstick. I love the formula so much. It's super, super bougie, but it wears so well. It's sort of creamy but pigmented and just lasts so well. And I've got heaps of these as well. I've probably got about 20 of them. So I had to pick the one that I like the most, which was actually the one I bought first. So this is the shade I Desire, and it's an orange tone red. And but prior to this, I really, really loved MAC Lady Danger, but I prefer this formula over MAC Lady Danger. So if I had to pick an orange tone red, it is this one. I don't know if you can see. Oh, I forgot to do close-ups of the swatches before. I've already taken them off. I'm sorry, but hopefully I'll remember to do it before I take these off. But hopefully you can see this is more of an orange tone red. This is more of a sort of bright coral tone red. So if I want an orange toned red, this is the one I really, really, really adore. It's sort of like my special one. If I'm going out somewhere fancy and I have my nice handbag, this is the one that I put in because it's just, yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful orange tone red, my favorite orange tone red. So if I wanted to go a little bit more of your traditional sort of bold red rather than a bright red or an orange tone red, the shade that I love heaps, and once again, this was the gateway into my particular obsession with this range, it's Lady Balls from Too Faced, the Melted Matte Liquid Lipstick in Lady Balls. Again, this is a mini. You can get it in a full size. This is a permanent one. And it's just got that traditional bold, like vampy red, and it wears beautifully. It's my favorite red liquid lipstick. It wears really, really well, and you can see the difference. So these are bright. This is more of your true red. So if I wanted to go the more darker, bold red, this is the one I would reach for. Then the one that I've got on my lips today, and I couldn't not include this because, again, this was a gateway into my obsession with this range. And it is by Tony Moly. It's the Perfect, what is it called? Perfect Lips Shocking Lip, and the shade that I love the most and use the most is Ruby Shocking. So it's the one I'm wearing on my lips today. So this is a lip stain, and these lip stains last so well on me. It's ridiculous. This is quite an orange tone red. So you can see, again, compared to this one, it looks pretty much orange, but on the lips, it does look quite red. I do have an orange one in the range, and it's really gorgeous. So if you want that effect on your lips that looks a little bit more orange instead of red, there is an orange version that sort of ends up looking like that on the lips. But I love this. It's got a sheen that it wears down to more of that sort of traditional sort of flat stain look. So yeah, sort of almost matte-like. But I adore this. I know that when I wear it, it lasts pretty much all day on me. This will probably be on until tomorrow morning and when I wash my face and you sort of like exfoliate your lips a little bit. So these last phenomenally on me. I have the whole range of these because I love them. And what I also love doing, so you can see it's got the sheen. So if I want a glossy red, this is a really great one, and I know it lasts really well. But also if I want to sort of make it a bit more matte, I can reach for another one of my reds and put it over the top. So for example, I can get my Yaz red and just sort of flatten that down. So it sort of mattifies it and gives a different finish, but you know that underneath you've got the longevity of a stain. So I can't not use this because this is a staple in my collection. So I've gone ham with the red. So I've got sort of corally pinky red, orangey glossy sort of red, true red, and stain orangey red. So that is pretty much, you know, typical of what I wear. But I also really wanted to include a bright pink because when I do want to go an alternative to an orangey red or a true red, I really like a really vibrant pink. And the one I decided to go for is in the same range. So the Tony Moly Shocking Lip Stains, and this is in Shocking Pink. Now, I'll show you the one that I was considering besides this. You can see how pink that is. It almost looks so pink that the camera's not catching it properly. I'll just build that up a little bit. So it's the same formula as this one, but it's just like your true sort of pink color. So sometimes I feel like a bright pink like this gives the same effect as a red, like the bold effect, but it's just a little bit more fun, a little bit different. So I wanted to put a pink in there because they're the only pinks that I sort of like to wear. I don't like wearing nudie pinks. I don't like wearing muted pinks. I like your vibrant pink. Now I thought I'd show you a close up before I forget. So there's the two stains. When I wipe these off, you'll see how much these stain. You've got the matte red, you've got the glossy sort of orangey red, and the sort of moussey, interesting sort of colored red that is really, really unique. So those are the sort of 5 that I would keep out of the colored lip products that I own. All right, so those are the 5, but to tell you how I sort of narrowed down the ones that I sort of loved in addition to this. So when it comes to the pink, I was really, really umming and ahhing about putting in this one, which is a Jeffree Star. It's a Shane Dawson collab. The shade's Jeffree What the Fuck. Now I really, again, I love this bold pink. And usually when I've tried to find them in liquid lipsticks before, they're really crumbly. They don't last really well. This one wears really, really nicely. I just found it really hard personally to want to put a Jeffree Star lipstick in my top 10 because I actually don't like his brand and I find him very, I don't really, it is a thing. I got this from Shane Dawson, so I really appreciate that, but I sort of support Shane, but I don't really support Jeffree, so I found that really hard to want to include. The reason why I really wanted to lean towards this was because it is a little bit bolder. On the lips, it looks just as bold, but you can see it is more opaque, and because it does dry down to a matte finish, it is a little bit different. It's a different brand to the other top 5, whereas those two are the same, but I thought, no, I can't do it. I have to put the stain in, but that was definitely possibly going to be the pink one of my choice. Another pink that I loved as well is by Shuramura. So this is the shade, it's Matte Red 165. And again, this is more of a pink, but it is like a reddy pink. So even though it is a pink tone and I love it, it's not as bright pink as what I wanted. But again, I love this formula. I love this finish. So that was one that I was tossing up between. When I was thinking about the sort of true red or the cool toned red, so the more blue toned red, there were a few that I really love that I wanted to include. One of my newest obsessions is the Nabla Dreamy Creamy lipstick. These are liquid lipsticks and this is in the shade Vicious. It's the most gorgeous dark red and it's a glossy formula, but it wears so nicely on the lips. It's really, really gorgeous. I just couldn't beat out my, like, historically my favorite liquid lipstick, but that one was super close. If I wanted something a bit glossier and vampier, that one I adore. Another one that I really loved, and this is another Shuramura one. It's the same sort of matte formula, but in limited edition packaging because this is for Chinese New Year. This is the Matte Red in 163, and it gives this beautiful, almost like blood toned matte kind of look. So it's a bit more cooler toned. You can see it there compared to, so bright, whereas that one's a little bit more rich and blood-like. I love that one as well, but I would love to keep them both, but I had to narrow it down. And another one that I love that's more of a cooler tone is Dragon Girl from NARS. This is the Velvet Matte Lip Pencil, and this is more of a pinky red, so it's a little bit different, but it is really, really beautiful on the lips. So it's a matte, and it gives you that sort of pinky, cool toned, bright red vibe. So that was another one that I was possibly going to include. Some other runner-ups that you can see a pattern with the formulas. There are some formulas I really love. So for orangey reds, this Shuramura one, so the Matte Orange 550. So I'll swatch it compared to Yaz Red. You can see it is more of your vibrant orange. So it's more orange than it is red. I was tempted to use that, but that one beat it out. That stain that I'm wearing beat it out. And lastly, another NARS Velvet Matte Lip Pencil. This is in Red Square. This is a really, really beautiful orange toned red, and it sort of is similar to the Hourglass one that I love so much, but it's a matte pencil version. So you can see that they are similar colored, but just different finishes. And because I do ultimately prefer the Hourglass finish or formula, sorry, I had to go for that, but they have a very similar effect on the lips and they're beautiful, beautiful colors. So those are all the colors that I was narrowing down from. They're the kind of colors that I really vibe with. You got dark reds, you got matte reds, you got glossy reds, you got orange tone reds. You got pinky reds, you got pinks and oranges and whatever. I love them all, but ultimately, yeah, the 5 that I picked were the ones that I showed you. They're amongst this. And you can see that when I wipe off my hands, it's the stains that last. Like I've wiped these really, really well, but they last super well. So yeah, those stains, they're the best stains I've ever come across, and I've tried a lot. Trust me, I've tried a lot. All right, so that's my picks for if I had to narrow down my lip collection to only 10 lip products, which ones they would be and why, and including a bunch of runner-ups. So essentially this is a good sampling of products that you'll find in my handbag on a regular basis. There are some of my favorite formulas in here. So Hourglass I really love, the Too Faced Melted Mattes, the lip stains I really love. So there are some here, the Shiramura matte lipsticks I adore. So some of these do represent some of my favorite formulas that really work well for me, and other ones just sort of fill gaps, like sort of like the ColourPop lip gloss, for example. That one is so functional and easy to use that I thought, look, it's easy to throw in. Probably not the best lip gloss in the world, but at the same time, it's one that I know that I reach for quite regularly and sort of can fill gaps. It can sort of, you can put it over the top of a matte liquid lipstick and make it glossy. So so I've sort of tried to pick things that I could mix together as well and have a bit of variety in finishes and textures and longevity and whatnot. So that's how I sort of picked them. But what I'll do in the description box is I'll have my top 10 that I listed, and then I'll also list the sort of runner-ups or the ones that I was tossing up between, because I know it got a bit confusing, but yeah, I'll do the top 10 and then the runner-ups. So if you wanted to know what any of these products were, I'll have them listed there, but I'll break it up so it's a little bit easier. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that video. If you are a fellow lip junkie, definitely let me know, even in the comments if you don't have a channel or Instagram or something, what your top lip products would be if you could only narrow it down to 10. And again, it's not like 10 different formulas. It's, you have to pick the formula and the shade, which is probably the hardest part, because again, if I could just pick, you know, the lip stains and the Hourglass lipsticks and my MAC lipsticks and my Shiramura ones, if I just picked those, for example, I'd probably have 60 lipsticks because I have heaps of each. So yeah, so brand, formula, and shade are your top 10. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.